Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Rose. Okay, so I want to take this opportunity to thank you. Okay, thank you for coming through with nice comments, sweet comments. Thank you for reaching out on my Instagram with your messages, your encouraging messages. And thank you for also sharing your stories with me on Instagram about going through a similar situation as I did. I'm talking about the story time that I just finished sharing with you. A lot of you have raised different questions in the comment section and also raised some views. So one of the things that you raised was pointing out my biggest mistake, which I actually acknowledge it was my biggest mistake, which was me moving in and quitting the job and then now start working for free. Okay. That was my biggest mistake because first of all, now the job I was doing was even greater than what I was doing before, because now it's like I was on 24/7, and I understand and I acknowledge that was my biggest mistake. I had no business, honestly, moving into that house, as I said previously. I know that now, but of course it's too late. Another issue that was raised in the comment section is the issue of when I talked about as African women, we don't see emotional and mental abuse as abuse. You know, we only acknowledge abuse when it involves assault, you know, physical assault. And somebody came in the comment section and said, well, Rose, don't generalize. It's not all African women who don't recognize emotional and mental abuse. Of course, now people have they have access to a lot of information thanks to social media. Thanks to apps like TikTok and things like that. So I think people now, of course, understand that there are other forms of abuse. But remember, I'm talking about quite a few years ago. So I think back then people still believed that if a man is not actually physically abusing you, then it's like just vumilia, you know, just persevere. This is a relationship or it's a marriage, and that's how things go. So because I remember I was complaining to a few people, even some family members, you know, I would be like, oh my God, like I don't want to live there anymore. I just want to go away. And they're like, is he beating you? And then I'm like, no. Then they have now, after that, they will have this attitude like, okay, like whatever else you say, you know, it's bearable. So yes, now I understand it's not all women who would put up with emotional and mental abuse. Okay, they understand. But back then, I will say a lot then, you know, so I don't offend anyone. A lot of African women didn't take mental and emotional abuse seriously. And I feel like the longer you stay there, the longer you put up with the abuse, the damage gets deeper and deeper. And now to get out of it, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and I feel like to some extent, it's gonna affect even your future relationships. I just want to say that I will talk from my perspective, from my experience. I feel like in many relationships, I was feeling like, you know, always being defensive, you know, I have to defend myself all the time and ready to run, you know, like ready to run. So, yes, I acknowledge that a lot of African women now understand that mental abuse and emotional abuse is as damaging as physical abuse. And if you don't understand that, I hope you will understand that now. Another issue that was raised in the comment section was about, you know, it's not all age gap relationships that end the way mine went. When it comes to age gap relationships, I don't like talking about age gap relationship per se. okay? It's a specific age gap. I talk about very young women, okay? Because for me, if like, for example, at my age right now, if I was to decide to go and date a 85-year-old man, a man who is 100 years old, like, come on now, fine. Like, if I see a woman who is my age and they're dating a 85-year-old, I wouldn't say anything, because I feel like she's at that age where she's able to make the right decisions for herself, hopefully. But for a young girl who is, first of all, has no life experience, being involved with somebody who is 65, 70, somebody who has lived, this is my focus. So if you come to my comment section and tell me, well, you know, you are just unlucky, or you are just naive, or you are just foolish, you know, it's not all age gap relationships that end up that way. Of course, it's not all age gap relationships that end up that way, but chances of an age gap relationship that involve a 24-year-old girl and a 65-year-old man, chances of that relationship ending up like the way mine ended up are very high. They're very high unless the girl is super smart, you know. And there are some in the comment section who told me, Rose, you know, I understand that, because when you are in your early 20s, you can be quite naive, okay? So for me, it's not about talking about age gap and just, you know, generalizing all age gap couples and saying, well, things will go wrong. You know, if you're 40 and you're dating a 65-year-old or 70, things will go wrong. No, 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 no. At 40, I would expect you, even at 35, I would expect you to be able to stand your ground, you know, and state clearly your wishes and your likes and dislikes, and you know, you should be able to speak up when things are going wrong. But the thing is, with a 20-year-old girl, chances of her being silenced and fear being instilled in her, you know, somebody being like, you know, where I got you from, you have nothing, and now you're living in this mansion, you know, chances of her being silenced are very high. They're very high. And this is why I keep saying, you as a young African woman, if you have decided to go this route of being with a 65-year-old man, you have to be like me, guys. You have to be like me now in this age. You have to mature. Like, you have to mature, and you have to speak up, and you have to know how to communicate clearly, without swearing, without using foul language. You have to know how to drive your point across, okay? And you have to, because what these old men will do, as soon as you start speaking, they will interrupt you immediately, okay? And this is when you have to be, you be like, no, I haven't finished. Let me finish my point. Let me speak. And when he speaks, let him speak as well, okay? Let him speak. Don't interrupt him. Once he finishes his point, then you're like, okay, now it's my turn to talk. This is my point. This is what I think. This is how I think this relationship should go. If he doesn't see your view, and he doesn't see your point of view, and he doesn't agree with what you're saying, then, my sister, it's time for you to work on your exit plan, because he's not worth your youth. So even as a lot of you might come to my page and say, well, you know, you are attacking age gap couples and things like that. It's not about me attacking age gap couples. It's about me trying to empower this young girl, for her to have not to have her voice taken away. She needs to speak up. This old man has lived, okay? She hasn't lived yet. She's 20, 22. She has, hopefully, God willing, she has a whole life ahead of her, okay? And the decisions she makes now are going to impact her future. Okay? So if you're there and you're happy in your age gap relationship, you're 30, you're 35, you're dating a 75-year-old gentleman, and you guys are happy, and you know, you're having a good life, my videos are not for you. Even if you're there, you're 27, 28, and you have this older gentleman, and you're living a good life, and things are going well for you, and you're thinking about your future and working towards your future, this video is not for you. My videos are not for you. My videos are for that young girl who is with an old man. That is my targeted audience. Okay. So thank you so much for watching my story. I know now, because I have a lot of new subscribers, they don't know where I am in life currently, because I saw a lot of comments that were like, oh Rose, we pray that now your life will take a good turn, and you'll have a happy life, and you'll find somebody and you'll be happy. I found somebody. I got married back in 2015. So me sharing my story is not that I'm trying, oh my goodness, I'm in a bad place. No. I'm just sharing my story to raise awareness. It's not that I'm in a bad place. I'm not there now. I was there a long time ago. I'm not there now. But it was just to raise awareness and let these young girls see how bad things can go. If you're naive, if you're foolish like I was, things can go very wrong, and you just sit by and you just sit back and just watch your youth pass you by. Okay? Like, it just, years are just going and going, and then before when you're waking up, you're like, oh my God, what am I doing in this house? Like, now I'm 30, oh my goodness. It was just about raising awareness and showing the girls that they have to be careful. They have to be careful even as they get into these relationships. But I am currently in a peaceful place. I am happy. I thank God for the kind of life I have, because the only thing I was praying for is to find someone who will give me peace, because peace is the most important thing in my life. Like, peace is the most important thing. I just wanted for once in my life to be peaceful. Okay, money is good. Okay, we work hard, we make money, but without peace of mind, that money is pointless, in my opinion. Okay, you could make money and do all the things that you want to do, but you don't enjoy those things because you are not at peace. So I think if you can find somebody who will give you peace, and then you get that money and you start doing things, chances of you enjoying even more are higher. Okay, I know a lot of young women say, well, it's better to cry on a yacht than to cry on a motorbike, or whatever you young people say, but I think you shouldn't be crying anyway. You can be on that yacht and not be crying. You know, you can be there and be laughing and smiling and being happy and drinking champagne and being happy. Why do you have to cry? Why do you have to look for this old man, and he should be putting you on a yacht, but you're crying? Why doesn't he put you on a yacht and you're smiling and you're enjoying champagne? Come on now. So yes, I am in a happy place. I think I will now walk you through what happened after. I might even walk you through the process of me meeting my husband and us getting married, and where we are currently and what is going on. A lot of you also left comments about those of you who know that I am married, or the ones that I answered and said I am married now. Some of you are wondering, okay, so you got married, did you have babies, like what happened? I will come with those stories. Some are quite again very difficult to share, very painful, and And to be honest, this story was not an easy story for me to share, because even as a content creator, coming and being vulnerable on camera like that, it's actually, it's not an easy task. It's actually very difficult. You know, it's easy for me to make videos about online dating, interracial dating, and just giving tips without me getting too involved, you know, not getting too involved personally. But here I got really personal because it was my story. It was something that happened to me, and it was very painful, me reliving those memories and just feeling the pain all over again. It was actually very painful. I tried to control my emotions as much as I could, because I didn't want to not be able to tell the story. Because actually, I wonder, you know, sometimes you see somebody telling a story and they are crying and their voice is still steady and stable. For me, my voice just breaks, and then I'm not able to tell the story. So I thank God I was actually able to complete that story. I just recorded it in one sitting because I didn't want to come back, like record one video and come back and relive the same emotions again. And I just wanted to go through with it and be done, and it's done. So I will continue, of course, with my content about online dating, but this playlist that I'm gonna put this video, it's called Storytime. I'm gonna be making video under that playlist, and I'm gonna be telling you my personal stories, just my personal stories, to walk you through from that time to the current time. So I think once I get you to where I am right now in life, then I think by then now you will understand, and you would have known me on a deeper level, because I feel it's very important for me to be authentic and to maybe let you in a little bit, so you know where I'm coming from. Even as I'm creating these videos for you, you understand why I am so passionate about these things, and about inspiring young women to make the right decisions about their future, about their youth, about their lives, protecting themselves, as far as meeting people from outside the continent and just going to the airport to meet somebody. You know, the need to protect your health, to protect yourself, to be safe, not to trust people so easily just because you think it's a white person, you think you can trust them. Bad people are everywhere. So thank you so much for coming to my YouTube channel. My new subscribers, thank you so much. I highly appreciate you. Thank you for joining my YouTube channel, and thank you for your comments. Thank you so much for your messages. I highly appreciate your comments, because I was really worried, because I didn't know how that story will be received, because this age gap and interracial dating topic, it's quite touchy and it's quite sensitive to some people. They don't like when I talk about it, and I was like, you know, I'm just gonna tell my story, and then maybe people will understand where I'm coming from. And I was really worried. I kept looking at my comment section. I was like, oh my God, please. You know, but you people were so kind. You are so understanding. Even those of you who thought I was foolish, which I agree with you. I was foolish. I was naive. I was, you know, I made so many mistakes, and I acknowledge my mistakes. And this is why I try as much as I can to save another young African girl from making the same mistakes that I made. That's why I do this. That's why I raise awareness. So thank you so much for being kind, for being gentle, for being understanding. I highly appreciate you. Thank you so much. I know these online streets can be like really tough, but I thank God that on my page, on that story, you guys came through with like really sweet comments and with a lot of understanding, and I highly appreciate that. My name is Rose. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go through the playlist where this video is, and then you'll see the story. Like, comment, share, and I shall see you on my next one. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye bye.